Nothing says Australia quite like the outback. From the natural wonders and rich culture to the extraordinary landscapes. Join me as I take you on a journey exploring the food and flavours of Australia's Northern Territory.
Oh, wow.
That's what we're after.
My adventures will take me to the wondrous Kangaroo National Park.
You can't help but feel tranquil and peaceful in a place like this.
Stunning waterfalls of Katherine,
Edith Falls and homemade canapes. I'm in heaven.
Darwin's dazzling markets,
I think people here in Darwin have the right idea, and I could definitely get used to this.
and the vast desert plains of the Red Centre.
Well, I love a good sunset, so I'm pretty happy right now.
On today's Outback menu, I serve up some kangaroo at Mushroom Rock.
See how juicy that is? It's so lean. I love kangaroo.
Explore an incredible ancient Aboriginal rock art site.
It's quite surreal sitting here knowing that this has been here for thousands of years.
Take a sunset canapé cruise through yellow water billabong.
What a feast. This is like the best cruise I've ever been on.
And Magook Plunge Pool is a beautiful spot for a picnic.
A super easy salad, perfect time for a little dip. Of course, after I finish my picnic lunch.
My Outback journey begins about 240 kilometres east of Darwin in Kakadu, Australia's largest national park. With amazing landscapes, wetlands and wildlife filling an area half the size of Switzerland, Kakadu is somewhere I've always wanted to explore. Not only is Kakadu renowned for its natural beauty, it's a place of huge cultural significance and is home to many ancient Aboriginal rock art sites. Ulbir is one of the most famous, and Savannah is showing me around this amazing site.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
We're at the top of Ulbir now, and the art sites that we're going to see down the bottom, they talk about the law, so for the people of this area, and they're more teaching stories.
Right.
And you've also got paintings there that talk about what sort of food you can find in this area.
Some paintings at Ulbir are up to 20,000 years old, which makes the artwork one of the longest historical records of any group of people on Earth.
So this site in here is like a classroom.
Oh, yeah.
You've got your window here and then your chairs here.
now that you say that, it's obvious.
And then you've got your blackboard with all the stories on there.
Yeah, it's quite surreal sitting here and seeing this artwork and knowing that this has been here for thousands of years and it's still intact. You can see the definition of the strokes.
Absolutely. So this one here is like an illustration of what you can find. So a menu basically. You can use crocodiles as well. Well, definitely a lot of fish that can be found in this area.
Savannah, if this was an ancient menu, what would you be picking on the menu?
There's too much to choose from, but I mean, I love the barramundi.
Juicy barramundi. I'd go for that too, I think. You can't help but feel tranquil and peaceful in a place like this. It's just so quiet. All you hear is the leaves in the wind, the little rock wallabies jumping around, the birds. It's such a special place. Almost feels a little spiritual up here because it's so quiet. And you can see all the way to the horizon. It's just such a gorgeous place of the world. I'm here at Mushroom Rock, and this place in Kakadu gets its name from this rock just over here. Apparently it looks a little bit like a mushroom. This land is owned by the Bunij clan, and they love to come here for fishing and hunting in the wet season. This is completely flooded, so you can imagine the wildlife. Now I'm going to cook a beautiful piece of kangaroo. You can see how lean it is. I adore kangaroo. It's slightly gamey, but it's not overpowering. And I'm going to serve it with rosella. Now this has a great flavour. It's crunchy, first of all, but the flavour is slightly bitter. It almost tastes like an unripened plum. This will go so well with the kangaroo. Now, for the kangaroo, I'm just going to season it with some salt, a generous amount of salt so we get a lovely crust on it, some freshly cracked pepper, and now we'll just pop that in a pan. I've just been preheating the pan with some extra virgin olive oil. Nice sizzle, and you can see it's quite a thick piece of kangaroo, so it's going to take about 2 to 3 minutes on each side. Now while that's cooking, let's get on to a little side that's going to go with it. Good old broccolini. You know, usually we just boil it, but by putting it on the open flame, we get a gorgeous, intense, nutty flavour from it. It goes so well with kangaroo, and we'll just pop them on. And because they're so small, they don't take long at all. What we're looking for is still a crunchy broccolini, but just a charred outside. I can already start to smell it toasting. Also, these are some pickled onions. Now, what I've done is just cut the onions in half, and I've just taken the little petals away from each other, so just separating it. So I'm also going to put them on the rack over the open flame, just to get some colour around the rim of the onion. So I'll just add a few of those. Now I'm going to give this kangaroo just another minute, and I'll turn it over and finish cooking it. We have to rest it also. And I'm not the only one that's going to enjoy this dish. I can see an eagle just circling me. None for you, all for me. Okay, this kangaroo is perfectly cooked, so I'm going to take it out of the pan now and just place it on the board to rest.